Good evening, everybody. You're watching Everything Weapons. We have a great show for you tonight. Very excited to be back. Well, guys, welcome to another video. Thanks for joining us today. Clone troopers in the Star Wars canon and legends used a big variety of blasters and directed energy weapons across the Republic era and the early Imperial transition. Today, let's dive deep in exploring all of the weapons used by the clones of the Republic. We will explore a complete list of the blasters, specialty weapons, their variants, and typical user groups. Before the video starts, please keep in mind that we will be covering mostly Republic-era issued weapons with some exceptions. But the fact is that clone troopers in the Star Wars universe could have used all sorts of weapons from enemy factions during battles, or after the Republic during the Empire as rogue rebels. So we will not be mentioning literally anything that could have been used by clones, as that would make the video ridiculously long. Now, with that out of the way, let's begin. We will now begin with primary infantry rifles, starting off with the DC-15A blaster rifle. This was standard long arm issued to many clone troopers during the Clone Wars. Effective at medium to long range, semi and full auto firing modes. This rifle is the most seen in all clone media, TV shows, movies, books, than any other blaster made by the Grand Clone Trooper Army of the Republic. The DC-15A blaster rifle was the standard powerful long-range weapon for the Galactic Republic's clone troopers during the Clone Wars, known for puncturing armor and walls, but less accurate under sustained fire than its carbine counterpart, the DC-15S. It fired Tabana gas bolts and could be modified with scopes, or used with tripods for enhanced accuracy, serving as a precursor to Imperial blasters like the E-11. The DC-15A blaster is the most produced clone blaster iconic from the very start of the Clone War, in Star Wars Episode II Attack of the Clones, and even used well into the fall of the Republic during the rule of the Empire by rogue clones who either removed their chip or somehow went against the Empire. Next up, the DC-15 blaster carbine / DC-15S shorter, more compact carbines used by troopers requiring mobility, vehicle crews, rapid response units. DC-15S often cited as the standard carbine. And now the DC-15X heavy blaster rifle, heavy marksman variant. Heavier, longer barrel versions, fitted for increased range and power, used by sharpshooters and some specialized squads. Support and heavy weapons. Next up, DLT-19 heavy blaster rifle, belt-capable heavy blaster with high rate of fire and effective suppression roll, used both by clone infantry and later Imperial stormtroopers. Then we have the DLT-19X. The DLT-19X is basically a DLT-19 heavy blaster that has been outfitted with a scope and modified to condense all of its 40 small shots into a single powerful blast. DLT-20A, stationary vehicle-mounted variants. Field and vehicle variants of the DLT family for heavier sustained fire. E5 blaster rifle, legends, early clone variants, and some specialized units in non-canon sources. RT-97C heavy blaster, heavy-duty blaster rifle, used by some clone units, Z6 rotary blaster cannon, Gatling-style rotary blaster used as a vehicle anti-infantry weapon, sometimes crewed by clone troopers. The reciprocating quad blaster cannon, or SIP quad, was an experimental gun. This weapon was used by ARC heavy gunners who were outfitted with specialized armor that included head-up displays in the helmet and links to the harness that allowed them to make the best use of the weapon. It was seen in the 2003 cartoon Clone Wars Micro series, arguably the weirdest and most rarely seen official Republic clone weapon. Next, on to Sidearms DC-17 hand blaster, an advanced firearm. It was fielded to elite soldiers in the Army, most notably Advanced Recon Commando, or also called ARC troopers, such as Fives and Echo. The DC-17 was also carried by clone trooper commanders, popularized by Rex, Bly, Pons, and Fox. Clone jet troopers also wielded the DC-17, H-17 blaster pistol, legends and transitional use. Common early pistol model appearing in some clone-era stories and routinely used by later Imperial forces. Specialized in commando weapons and DC-17M interchangeable weapon system. The DC-17M interchangeable weapon system was a configurable combat weapon system used by the clone commandos of the Galactic Republic. Designed by Blastech Industries to be able to meet the demands of the Grand Army of the Republic's elite Special Forces soldiers, the DC-17M became the unique weapon of the Republic commandos throughout the Clone Wars. An adaptable weapon, the DC-17M was capable of fulfilling multiple combat roles due to its ability to reconfigure into either a standard assault blaster rifle, a compact sniper rifle, or an anti-armor grenade launcher, depending upon the needs of the user. Famous clone commando squads such as Omega and Delta Squad loved their signature changeable weapon system. DC-15's sidearm blaster were used by clone commandos as a backup, in addition to the heavier DC-17M interchangeable weapon system. The energy cell kept the blaster recharging at a slow but steady rate. M3 Bulwark Blast Shield. The M3 Bulwark Blast Shield was a handheld shield utilized by clone troopers during the Clone Wars all the way until the Empire era. They were carried by the troops of the 501st Legion and a unit under the command of Commander Doom at the Battle of Ringo Vinda in 19 BBY, along with plain normal white Phase II clones during the Empire. Next up, the DC-15LE, lightened dark carbine variant, used by pilot charge crew troopers and in close-quarters roles. The DC-15LE was a blaster rifle and variant of the standard DC-15A blaster rifle, which could be modified for long-range engagements or to fire explosive blaster bolts. This variant was utilized by Republic heavy weapons clones and Imperial Purge trooper commanders, Imperial clone troopers, and TK stormtroopers, as well as rogue clones. Onto the A280 and A300 blaster rifles, Rebels era, sometimes fielded by specialized clones and stories, more typical of Rebel partisan forces, occasionally attributed to commando units in extended continuity. Westar 35 and Westar 34 blaster pistols, Mandalorians and bounty hunters, occasional clone use in Legends, rarely used by clones, seen in specific unit contexts or non-canon tales. Explosive projectile weapons, trooper carried. Next up, let's explore explosives used by troopers of the Clones Army, standard explosive grenade thermal detonators. For organic targets, anti-personnel, anti-armor tools carried by many clones. Next up, clones love to use the EMP, electromagnetic pulse, grenades like the V6 Haywire grenade for disabling droids. RPS-6 rocket launcher. The RPS-6 rocket launcher, also known as the CNR shoulder-launched missile, was a model of missile launcher manufactured by Marathon Munitions, Inc. and CNR Fleet Systems. PLX-1 rocket launcher. The PLX-1 missile launcher, or PLEX, was a powerful rocket launcher that was in the service of the Galactic Republic from the beginning of the Clone Wars. This weapon was seen in 2003 Clone Wars and Battlefront 2 2005. This list captures the weapons used by clone troopers across on-screen canon and the broader Legends continuity. Dozens of minor variants and one-off weapons appear across comics, games, and novels. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss future uploads. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought about the video. And, I think that's it. I hope you have an amazing day.